Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn and today's vlog is going to be the first week of NaNoWriMo. I have about 15 minutes before my first live stream starts, and that is going to be the first little bit of writing that I will be doing for the month of November. I'm really excited because I'm going to have some of my other writing friends online with me. We're all going to be writing together and it's just going to be a great time. Before we start that stream and before I get a little bit deeper into this video, I want to give you an update of what I ended up doing for the rest of my outline for my story. In my last plotting vlog, In my last plotting vlog, I had talked about a couple of things that I wanted to finish, a couple of things that I wanted to do. So for my last plotting vlog, I gave an update on all of the plotting that I had done and talked a little bit about what I wanted to try and accomplish off camera. I am here to say I was able to accomplish some of that. I worked a little bit on my characters. I know I was really concerned about not having enough information on my characters. They were definitely underdeveloped, and that was a big concern for me. Now they're still underdeveloped and that's still a concern to me, but I spent a little bit of time writing 1 or 2 sentences for each of my characters using Brandon Sanderson's sliding scale for likability, proactivity, and competence. For my 2 main characters and some of those secondary characters, I went ahead and gave them a sliding scale because I figured that that would help me at least understand some of these characters and understand what their motives were, or if we were supposed to like this character or not like them, and so then maybe their actions throughout the story would either make us like them or not like them. I was able to work a very minimum amount on the world building slash magic. I didn't want to do a lot in the magic and the world building because I want to get the story written out first. I was able to write a little bit on the witch and the magic, the enchanted objects in the world, how they become enchanted, and then the curse slash spell that are over the parents of our main characters. I need to flesh that out a lot more, really understand the world building and the magic. I do need to understand it, but that's not important right now. What's important right now is getting the story written. Are you all right? Getting the story written and having something to work with in the future. I am gonna go ahead and finish getting ready for the live stream. Happy day 2 of NaNoWriMo. I have been writing for about 30 minutes today. I want to do another 30-minute writing session before we call it quits for today. Last night, for my live stream, I had the best writing session ever. This is probably too loud. I was so happy to be able to write with some of my writing friends. I ended up writing 2,095 words last night, which was really good. That was a great start to NaNoWriMo. So far today, I did a 30-minute writing sprint. I ended up writing, I think it was 748 words in my first writing sprint for today. And I want to do another writing sprint just to see how much I can get done. But last night, even though I wrote 2,095 words, I wrote the first 2 chapters and a little bit of chapter 3. So my goals for the next 30 minutes is to finish chapter 3. Last night, I had an idea for a prologue. Typically, when I write my stories, I like to write my prologues or my epilogues at the very end of the story, like after the entire novel is complete. I like to go back and write my prologue and my epilogue, but I have a really solid idea for this prologue. I really want to write it out now, so I'm gonna go ahead and write it out after I finish chapter 3, get to a good stopping point, and then I'm gonna go back and write the prologue. I think I can do all of that within the next 30 minutes or so. So far, if I had to rate how I'm feeling for this story on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolute shit, garbage, I hate it so much, and a 10 being the best ever, I am just floating on a cloud, it's just so amazing. I would say I'm probably sitting at a 8.5 or a 9. I'm really enjoying this story right now, and I'm really having a lot of fun. That's what I've been wanting this month to be. I know it's intense writing, 50,000 words, trying to get all of the words and really, pushing myself and my writing to the limit. While I do want to win Nano, I'm not going to kill myself doing it. I really want to have a lot of fun, enjoy the community, and just write as much as I can in this entire month. And really, I think that's what Nano is about. Personally, I'll give you guys another update in about 30-ish minutes when I have more to talk about. I ended up writing for an hour and a half. I did a lot of writing. I finished chapter 3. I wrote that prologue I was telling you guys about, which ended up being a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, than like I expected it to be, but hey, we just rolled with the words. I ended up writing that prologue and I really like it. It's pretty damn good. In total today, so with that hour and a half sprint that I just did and with the 30-minute sprint I did earlier, I ended up writing 3,125 words today. What the fuck? We're taking the wins. My manuscript so far as of day 2, I'm probably not writing anymore today. Between yesterday and today, I have written 5,968 words, which is pretty amazing. I'm feeling pretty good about what I've got going on. I am glad that I'll be done with my writing session for today so I can think about where I want this next chapter to go, because I know in this next chapter, which is chapter 4, I need to introduce what that inciting incident is going to be. And I have an idea of how I want to do it. I think I've set chapter 3 up really well for us to just glide through to that inciting incident. So tomorrow's writing session, I will get on that. We are almost 6,000 words into the story, which is absolutely bizarre to think about. Happy day 3. I have already messed up on my word counts. I don't know how this ended up happening, but I need to figure out where I'm missing words. On my first day, I wrote 2,095 words. And yesterday I have where I wrote 3,125 words, which I guess somewhere in there I ended up messing up and I need to figure out where. So today I did a writing sprint this morning because I knew I was going to have a busy afternoon. It's almost 6 o'clock now. But earlier today I ended up writing 1,275 words. My entire manuscript as as of right now, on day 3, it has 7,247 words. I have messed up somewhere, and I think it was yesterday, because in the NaNoWriMo website, it says that I have 6,495 words, which is not right. There are words missing somewhere, so I might have to redo yesterday. I think I miscounted somewhere, and it had to have been yesterday. So I'm gonna go back and check and see all of that. I know that sounds a little suspicious, but I promise I'm telling the truth. So I need to fix that in their website. So far in my manuscript, I have written the first 4 chapters. I am about to start on chapter 5. I'm feeling pretty good about everything that has happened, everything that I've written so far. In chapter 4, I just introduced the inciting incident, what that wound for my characters is. For chapter 5, I'm going to continue to work off of that. I think I have 1 or 2 more chapters before I am going to be into Act 2. Everything is going good so far. When I originally plotted out this story, I was making the chapters and how many chapters the story was going to be. I thought these chapters were going to be a lot longer, but I'm noticing that shorter chapters works really well for this story. I originally thought that I was gonna have 25 chapters and they were gonna have about 2,000 words each. I have 4 chapters written plus a prologue, and so far those chapters are not all 2,000 words each. These chapters are a lot shorter, they're a lot more snappier, and I do like this format. That happens sometimes where you plot it out thinking it's gonna be like this, but then as you're actually drafting the story's becoming more clear. It makes more sense to do something else. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do already, change up a little bit, is make these chapters shorter and snappier. It seems to be working so far with the first 4 chapters. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 writing sprint and see if I can hit the daily word count, which is what, 1,667 words or something like that. So I just need maybe 500-ish words, which I think I can knock out soon. I will get on that and figure out where I messed up with my word count for yesterday. I want to give a final update for day 3. There might be a lot of background noise. My cat's eating and my partner's playing a video game, and it's really loud. I am almost at 10,000 words in this entire manuscript. That's crazy considering it's 3 days in. For this sprint, I wrote for about an hour and 15 minutes. I ended up writing 1,801 words. I literally just got done giving you guys an update where I was saying I was keeping these chapters a lot shorter, but this is my long chapter. I haven't finished chapter 5, but there's no good breaking point in this chapter. This chapter is going to be pretty long, but after I'm finished with this chapter, then I'll be obviously to chapter 6. I'm still feeling really good about this story, and the first 10,000 words, I feel like I'm exactly where I want my story to be. Even though I didn't have a chance to make a plot grid or anything like that, it feels pretty balanced so far. I think I have maybe 2,000 or 3,000 more words, and then I'll be out of Act 1. That's exciting. I'm gonna definitely be done for the night because it's almost midnight and I'm getting a little sleepy. When I come back in the morning, I will, well, not the morning. I don't hardly ever write in the morning. But when I come back tomorrow, I hope I can get a few more words done. That game is very loud. In chapter 4, I dropped the inciting incident, and in chapter 5, I'm really excited because one of my other storylines is starting to, I won't say take form, but it's been introduced. It was introduced earlier into the story, and now I'm revisiting it again. I'm really happy with how that's going. That's all I pretty much have for the moment. See y'all in the morning. I am just here to sign off the vlog and to talk about the last day or 2 of the first week of NaNoWriMo. For the Saturday, I didn't get to write all day. I was doing literally everything else because I knew I had my live stream with Sarah that night and I would get some words in. I was able to get some words in during my sprint with Sarah. Her and I, we typically do 1 late night writing sprint every month. They're really chill. They're the same every time. We usually do 2 30-minute sprints. Sometimes we've done 3, but it's usually 2 30-minute sprints and we're done. The first one, I ended up writing 393 words. And I'll be totally honest, I can't exactly remember how I felt about those words and what all I did during that writing session, like chapter or anything, because it's a few days later. I did end up writing 393 words for that day. And then the next day, which was the 5th, the second writing sprint I did with Sarah, was 647 words. I ended up working for the next 3 days. I work night shift. I was able to get another writing sprint in on the 5th of November, and that writing sprint I wrote 998 words. And this sprint I did while I had a 15-minute break. It actually turned out to be like a 25-minute break, so I was able to write just a little bit, and I'm super happy, super stoked about making that progress. I don't feel like the quality of the words were the best because I did write them while I was on break at work, so I feel like my attention was a little divided, but nonetheless I was able to write and I got a little bit done while I was at work. I know this is technically Sunday, November 5th with that stuff I was just talking about, but with the writing sprint that I did with Sarah bleeding into, if you consider Sunday the first day of a new week, it's kind of bleeding into the next week, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about it in this video. I don't have vlog footage of this day, so it doesn't really matter. It would just be weird if I mentioned one writing sprint that I did at midnight and then another sprint in a different vlog talking about what I did. It would just get confusing. Hopefully I didn't just confuse you more. My overall feelings after the first week of NaNoWriMo, I feel really happy about this story. I'm having a lot of fun writing this project. This is the first cozy fantasy I've ever attempted with lightheartedness and a lot of humor in it, and I am really having a lot of fun. I feel my own humor into the book, and I really do enjoy putting that into this book. I know in the past with the stories I've written, I haven't ever really included a lot of humor, just the type of stories that they were more dark fantasy with like harder hitting topics. But with this story, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying the process of writing the novel. A huge thing that I have told myself with this project is I'm not worrying and I'm not stressing about it. I am just enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the words I'm writing on the page. I'm enjoying the journey that my characters are going on. I'm really not concerned about trying to write perfect words. I'm just here to have fun, have a great time, and enjoy the NaNoWriMo community. Oh, I didn't even say how many words I was into the project. So I'm filming this a few days into the second week, but I want to say at the end of week 1, I was a little over 11,000 words into this project. So that's gonna be it for week 1 of NaNoWriMo and for this video. I will see everybody in week 2. Best of luck with NaNoWriMo, and I will see you then. Bye.